in the psychology community, creative visualization refers to the practice of seeking to affect our outer world by changing our thoughts and expectations. So basically, our minds have an enormous capacity to connect invisible dots to guide us to strive for the impossible. I maybe the answer I already know just based on that. Do you ever practice visualization? Do you see yourself winning tournaments before it happens?
I used to use a lot of visualization in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
I was meditating a lot more back then. I haven't done a great job of keeping my meditation practice up. I probably haven't meditated enough in the last 7-8 years. Part of the shortcut to visualization for me is just having, my yearly goals on my mirror.
Right.
So when I see that, it starts my mind along a path similar to visualization anyway.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Okay,
but
cool.
yeah, I think visualization is absolutely a good thing. It can never be bad.
Right.
There's just nothing, and what's the worst that can happen? You visualize a goal, you go after it, and you fall short.
Right.
But because you visualized it, your mind, which works on several different levels that we don't even understand, and some levels that we do understand,
right,
from subconscious to unconscious, when you're telling it, this is where I want to go, it may steer you when you're not paying it. In fact, it does steer you when you're not even paying attention.
Right. So yeah, okay. And so I'm on your wavelength with regard to that. I do believe in visualization. I've started to actually do more mindfulness. But you're right. It's work. Just like practice is work. It's work. You've got to commit to it. How important is self-awareness to you, knowing your own strengths and weaknesses?
It's everything as a professional poker player.
It's everything.
If you don't understand your own strengths and weaknesses, then how are you going to be able to subvert them in the case of weaknesses, and how are you going to be able to extend them and do them better in the case of strengths? So, the one thing about being a professional poker player, the reason why a lot of the top professional poker players, a lot of professional poker players, the reason why they're so smart and so successful is because on any given day, we could lose all of our money.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous amount of pressure.
Yeah.
And so then what do? You look on the inside and you say, why did I do that? What am I capable of doing? Why would I think this way? Did I risk too much money here? It's always looking inside. And so then your awareness can't help but be increased, exponentially as you figure stuff out. They used to make fun of my money management. Why is Phil playing? Why in 2003, when I walk into a room or 2004, 2005, when I walk into the Commerce Casino, when there's 2 8 and 1600 games going, a 6 and 12, a 4 and 8, and a 2 and 4, why am I sitting down in the 100, 200 game and swallowing all that ego as everybody watches me walk in the room and sit down at the 100, 200 game? Why? Because it's the right move financially, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Big.
Maybe I'm worth $1 million or $2 million on paper, but how much cash did I have then?
Right.
Who am I doing it for? Who am I swallowing my pride for to sit down in the 100, 200 game?
Right.
For my wife and kids. It's about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
That's
back to your planning, right? That's back to the planning that you talked about at the very beginning.
Now I can sit down and play 1,000, 2,000 game or 2,000, 4,000 game if I choose. I can sit down and risk 100,000 a day because now I can afford to do that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I've been winning so much for so long, I still don't do that very often. Why? I don't know. Why should I lose? Why should I, I haven't lost. People won't even believe this stat. I haven't even lost 3 times in a row since 2015. No one even believes that, but it's pretty ballsy thing to even say, much less do. And it's after the first loss, I'm pretty mad. After the second loss, I'm like tearing things apart. And, and the rare occasion where I lost the third time, I'm just like, all right, there's something wrong with the world,
Well, you go back.
The point is,
you go back and calm yourself down and analyze and start to play the right way.
You go back to basics quickly because I hate losing so much. And so that's the plus side of hating losing so much.
Yeah.
Is that, you're willing to make adjustments to make sure you don't lose.